You funny. Now the kid, huh? What's his name?
Mr. Ronald Nelson. You know, a few years ago, the news made patched images of a young black man who was accepted to all 8 colleges, and it was big news. And since then, we've had several others. This one, though, has stood out. We had 8 high school graduates this year that were accepted to all Ivy League colleges. But he stands out because he said, no, thank you, and decided to go to University of
Like he already thinking about his future. I don't want to be in debt.
That's what I'm talking about. He turned down the Harvard Crimson for the Crimson Tide.
Ooh, you know Nick Saban was loving that. That making it because the SEC always get criticized for not really having student athletes.
But he's not an athlete.
I know, I'm just saying.
He's not an athlete. And that's what's so beautiful about this, because here we have a black man getting a full ride in his university because of his brain. He plays saxophone, but he's not in a marching band.
And I do have a conspiracy, but
4.58.
let me show you something, brother. See, that's what you do. See, you shut me up because I still got a conspiracy even with your story, but I'm not even going to bring it up. I'm just going to be proud of the brother.
I am. I'm proud.
But I don't like how this media, like you said, they've been having all these stories. This is not really a big deal in terms of, it's a big deal in terms of the media never shows it, but this has been going on forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This has been happening forever, but they trying to make it look like, oh,
hey,
no.
We got a black kid that's smart.
What is, and you sitting there like, really? You going to tell us this story? So he don't play any sports.
And he's planning to go to medical school and save up his medical school. Hey, keep it up. I hope he get a free ride through medical school. I hope. I doubt it happened, but I hope.
Yeah, and then he from Tennessee. So he probably end up at Vanderbilt. That's close to home.
That's close to home. But this is what another thing.
I'm surprised he didn't go to Vanderbilt because that's considered the Ivy League of the SEC. And he from Tennessee, so they must have didn't even want to give him any money.
Well, they might have gave him some, but not enough to cover everything. You know, University of Alabama is
they covering everything.
He's got a full scholarship.
That's a good investment.
They're covering campus expenses. And there's a possibility for him to do overseas studies. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't he take such an opportunity? And University of Alabama is not a shabby school. I mean, I wore Eagle all day long. Don't get it twisted.
Who? Oh, the University of Auburn.
Auburn. I wore Eagle all day long. But University of Alabama is an excellent school, and there are lots. I mean, and they're known for producing lawyers and doctors.
Right.
So why wouldn't he go there? That's the big story. Turning down schools like Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Stanford to go to University of Alabama seems different, but only because black kids get lumped into having to be athletes in order to make it. You don't.
The stereotype, because
that
we see you all day. We know about you, and you know what? It's our job, especially when we got our own little world right here, to start showing more stories like that ourselves. Man, you know what? That's what. You motivate us to, because all we do is sit here on the sidelines and criticize, because we just analyze in the media. We got to wait for the media to do something to analyze and break it down. But you know what? You're making me think about being more out front, and because I used to criticize Ebony Magazine for not attacking the media.
I still don't like Ebony
and Jet, because they would show positive black people, but I would say, well, why don't y'all criticize the main media for not doing it?
Right.
So, but hey.
But here's the thing though, with this young man, even his accomplishments are a criticism to the main media, because one, they didn't bring him up because he was doing something great. They brought him up just to say something. Or really to
make him look like an isolated incident.
Actually to belittle the rest of the community.
Yeah, look.
However,
he did it. Why can't the rest of them do it, huh?
The other thing that they're not bringing up is this young man didn't do it by himself. His father's an engineer. His mother's in management with one of the biggest logistic companies in the world, FedEx, in the headquarters. And then so they're eliminating, even in the story, they're eliminating the family aspect. Because you think about it, all the Ivy League schools are in the Northeast. Harvard, that's all in Boston, Connecticut. Yeah. Those all there.
All them old schools.
He's from Tennessee, from Memphis. He going down to Tuscaloosa. What's that? 2.5, 3 hours
It's
away.
still close.
He's staying close to home,
Yeah.
and there's probably a lot of family ties there keeping him at home. But you
Yeah.
think they make that part of the story?
Oh no, they're gonna make what they want part of the story. You know that, right?
Absolutely.
Now, what I want to see is I would want the day to come where they do so many stories, or they just have a balance where this won't be something great. This is just norm, because it is normal.
It's normal.
It's no big deal. But like we were saying, the media made it like,
Oh
like,
my gosh, a black guy got a tie.
oh, hello. So let me tell you something to you. I'm very proud of you, young man, Ronald Nelson. You're not the only one. You know it. But when you get down to University of Alabama, keep yourself together. We know you're going to do that. Look like you come from a good family. See what happens? That's what I always say about whenever the media putting these negative stereotypes up and these negative statistics up. I always say, instead of doing that, why don't you do a comparative analysis? Compare black men and black women who grew up in a house with a mom and a dad to white people. And you know what you'll notice? It's not much difference. Instead of comparing white student scores, school scores, white crime stats with black urban or black inner city crime, where you know what you did there. You created something. Let's just do a real comparative analysis, and you know what we'll find? There's a lot of Ronald Nelsons in this world, and that's that. And that's it for this week, folks. Peace.
Peace. Be great.
Be great.